right, we're back with another fitness segment. This time we're going to talk about what we can do to keep our kids more active during this really crazy time in the pandemic. So I have 3 kids of my own, so I know what it's like to have my kids at home on their screens all day long trying to do some school and some other homework and stuff. So what I wanted to do is create a program that you could basically have them do that would replicate what they would do in a playground or in a sports team. So things that they're kind of missing already with some of that high power dynamic type activity. This program is designed for kids around 5 or 6 years and older. You can even have their teenage kids do it as well. So we want to get all their major muscle groups moving and in a fun kind of dynamic way so that it's not boring and tedious. And so we're just going to involve setting up our house in a way that we can space out some area for the kids to move and to be dynamic in, but make it fun. Like have the kids get involved in setting the scene. You can have some music going, you can have a disco ball going, you can have some creative lights, anything to keep the kids motivated and having fun. And they probably should have some good indoor shoes as well, just to make sure they're safe. It's not totally necessary, but it's a good idea. And make sure that because they're going to be doing some crawling, that the space they're in is clear. So the carpet or the floor is clean and it's free of any debris or anything like that. The last thing is just to make sure that the kids don't have any underlying health conditions or muscle or joint injuries. This is designed for kids that are healthy and are uninjured. All right, so let's have some fun. All right, so first thing we want to do is have a warm-up for the kids. So I've compiled 3 different exercises for that. The first one is called an inchworm, and basically you're just going to have them standing and you're going to walk out into plank positions with straight arms like that, and then they're going to walk right back up into standing. So this is just kind of warming up the muscles in the upper body, the chest, the shoulders, the hamstrings, the lower back. And usually about 5 of these is a good way to get the kids warmed up and get those muscles with some blood flow and some circulation. The next one is the wood chop. This one's a fun, dynamic kind of power exercise. You're gonna have them pretending like they're chopping wood. So basically like they have an axe in their hand, take a wide stance, and then they're gonna be coming around like this, down, and then switch. And so about 5 to 10 of these each side. Really have them get into it and get their whole body going, and they'll feel how it warms up their core, their arms, their back, and their shoulders. And the last one is called a seal jack. So like the animal seal. So instead of doing like a jumping jack, instead all they're gonna do is clap their hands together up front. So if they're younger kids, you can have them bark like a seal, make it fun, whatever you want. All right, so about 10 to 15 of those as well. Between those 3 exercises, they should be good and warmed up and ready to go. All right, so what I want to do is create a distance of about 6 to 10 yards of space between 2 endpoints. So you can achieve that by basically walking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 yards here between our 2 benches. Make sure it's a clear path. And then we're going to do some of those movements that we talked about. So the first movement is called a bear crawl. And this one you're going to be on all fours and basically having your child crawl along the floor like this. Try not to touch the knees to the floor. Right to the other end point. And then you're going to have them do a broad jump on the way back. So a broad jump is coming down, arms back, jumping forward, and traversing all the way back to the start. Okay, so that series that we just did was level 1, so it's on the easier side. We're going to go into a little bit more challenging now, level 2 series. So for this one, it's called a lizard crawl. So it's kind of like the bear crawl, except now you're getting lower to the ground. And just like that, you want to really have the kids stretch out their legs, get nice and low, really leading with their knees, just like so. And then we move into what are called skater jumps. So for these guys, they're going to do single leg jumps from one leg to another, just like so, side to side, but still moving forward. So now we're on to level 3. These are getting a little bit tougher. The crawling exercise is called a crab walk. So you're going to have them on all fours this way, with their hands and their feet, but their butts not touching. So now they're going to be walking along like so. It takes a lot of strength in your arms and shoulders. Make their way all the way to the other end. And then we'll go into single leg hops. So So these guys, basically now they're just gonna pick one leg and they're gonna be jumping straight across. And then they can come back on the opposite leg. Trying to keep their balance, lots of strength and hip stability involved here. That's level 3. All right, so now we're on to the hardest section. This is level 4. This is now for the faint of heart. We're gonna do some jumping spiders. So this one, you're in this position here, and they're basically lurching forward. Have them lead with their legs and follow with their hands. See if we can get all the way down. That's jumping spider. And then we're gonna do lunge jumps. And you're gonna do switching in between. So lunge position here, you're gonna jump, switch, and traverse forward or back. And that's level 4. All right, for the last sequence, this is our core sequence, and there's 3 separate movements we're gonna do for this. These are just kind of fun, challenging ways the kids can play around and figure out if they're strong enough to do some of these movements. So the first one is a rolling get up. So basically, you're gonna have them standing. They're gonna lower down into lying down. They're gonna roll and then they're gonna come straight back up into standing. So it's down and straight back up. Okay, super challenging, but have them try it out. They're gonna have a lot of fun trying to figure it out. They can do it in all different kind of ways. They don't have to do it perfectly, but just challenge them to see if they can do the whole exercise. Okay, so our next core exercise that's a lot of fun is having them hold a V-sit position and then passing back and forth. They can pass them back and forth with you, the adult, or with a sibling. So basically set up on the floor, like so. A V-sit, you're up on your bum bones, you're lifting your legs, you're keeping your chest prominent, and you're holding this position. So right away, you're using your abdominal muscles to stabilize. A little bit of legs here as well, and then you're just gonna have them pass the ball back and forth. Any kind of ball is fine, doesn't have to be a medicine ball, preferably not, just a nice soft ball is great. And then just back and forth and just see if they can do as many as possible. So that's a V-sit pass. All right, so the last exercise in our core series is called a plank 5. So a plank position, gonna have them on the ground, on their forearms, on their toes, feet apart, have them hold their tummy muscles in tight, and then basically you're gonna be with them across, holding the same position, or you can have a sibling as well, and just have them giving each other high fives. So they're raising one arm to give a high five, but the challenge here is to not twist. You wanna have them keep their hips even and make sure they're not twisting their back. So there you have it. You have now the tools to create a home program for your child in a beginner, intermediate, and advanced format, but also realize that just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be a set thing for kids. Play around with it, try the different movements, see what they like, and then you can take those pieces of that program and then create a specific program that's tailored to them. So it might be maybe level 1 and level 2 with the warm up and then a couple of the core exercises at the end. Maybe it's about 10, 15 minutes, but they'll get their heart rate up, they'll feel like they've used their muscles, and hopefully they'll have fun and worked off some stress or anxiety. It's not supposed to replace or be their be all and end all for their physical activity. It's just supposed to give them about 10, 15, 20 minutes of intense activity that also complements what they're doing. Going outside for walks, getting fresh air, running around in an open field, kicking a ball, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so have fun with it. You can create some healthy competition with some siblings or just with you as the adult and get active and have fun.